Hey everybody, David here. We are in week 2 for January 11th to the 17th. Now I'm going to keep this video short and sweet. So I've got a couple things from the grab bag really quick. The first one is from Elijah Talmud, and his comment on YouTube was, if you're running a Tiefling Vengeance Paladin, could you get away with a chaotic neutral and alignment? And absolutely. Absolutely, Elijah. D&D 5th edition doesn't restrict you on any particular alignment depending on the class or the race that you play. Now, however, I will say this. In the Dungeon Master's Guide, there is the Oathbreaker Paladin and the Death Domain Cleric. They do recommend you going more of an evil alignment for those because of the whole story factor. You know, how you broke your oath with maybe devotion. So why did you become an Oathbreaker? Or why did you all of a sudden decide to become a Death Domain Cleric and leave, you know, your holy aspirations in the church? So those are pretty much the only two exceptions. But you're not limited on anything. So I hope that helps you out, Elijah, and thanks for the comment. The second one is from Justin Yata, and he was just thanking me for all of the time that I put into all of this different content, whether it be games, tutorials for Fantasy Age, for Fantasy Grounds, for Roll20, for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, and he said that it's awesome and he appreciates it so much. And hey, thanks, Justin. I appreciate the kind words. It's always nice to read good comments like that. That's what keeps me motivated to continue doing it. And last is from Monkey King Solly, and he asked, what is a good class to use with the Rock Gnome? And he's talking about Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. He says that he wants to have a class where he can invent items, maybe a Grenadier Alchemist, or maybe an Engineer. So there's really nothing class-wise that you can invent items or be a Grenadier or an Alchemist. That's all on background. But Rock Gnomes do get tinkering. They do get whenever you choose to be a Rock Gnome, you will get tinkering, and you'll be able to make some pretty cool little toys. And I'm sure if you come up with more ideas, I'm sure your Dungeon Master will probably love that. So it really, the only thing that I will say about maybe potions and alchemy is, I believe when the Dragonlance comes out, or is it going to be Eberron? I think they're going to have an alchemist come out for those, probably when those campaign settings come out. So you can expect something like that class-wise, but a Rock Gnome, perfect. That can definitely fulfill your needs. That's for sure, Monkey King. So I hope that helped you out as well. It's more for the story in 5e. Maybe you can create potions and throw them. It would be an attack roll. You'd have to just get with your Dungeon Master and come up with some kind of in the middle compromise. So I hope that helps you out. All right, to move along, I talked with Nolan from Roll20. We have not had Nolan on the stream. That's kind of good. Roll20, Nolan, rolling. So anyway, Nolan hasn't been on the stream in over a year. So he's doing his tours of all of the blogs and the video channels, and so he's reached out, and we are going to get Nolan back on stream sometime soon. I do not have a specific time or date yet, but Nolan from Roll20 will definitely be on to talk about what's going on with Roll20, how they're growing, and what's going to be going on with the future of Roll20. So it's going to be nice to have Nolan back on. I like Nolan. He's a good guy. So the next thing I want to talk about is the virtual reality game. The virtual reality game is going to be next Friday, the 22nd at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Next Friday, that will be January 22nd at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, I do have 3 players for this game, and I am seeking one more player. So if you are wanting to play virtual reality D&D, you have to have an Oculus Rift, and contact me here on the comments section, or contact me on my contact button on my website, and let me know that you're interested in playing some virtual reality D&D. Now you have to have virtual reality to play. That's the one minimum thing. So you have to have that. So contact me if you're interested in playing. Now, I will be on Shane Plays Radio show again this weekend. I'll also be on there with Doug from Fantasy Grounds. That is this Saturday on January 16th, and that is going to be a 2 p.m. Eastern start time, or 1 p.m. Central, because he broadcasts out of Arkansas. So I will be tweeting out and putting on Facebook the time and the dates. So check my Twitter and check my Facebook. And if you're not following me on Twitter and Facebook, you need to get with it and follow me. All right? All right, so you'll notice that a ton, well, not a ton, but I think about a dozen Fantasy Grounds tutorials came out last week, and I'm starting with real basic stuff. And I think it's good to start with basic stuff and build up. So this week we'll be finishing up all of the beginner stuff, and we'll be going into some more intermediate. And I'm also going to be doing creating a campaign and creating a module tutorial also. There'll be longer tutorials, probably about 45 minutes for each one, so expect those out this week. Alright, so you guys have known that I've been working on a 13th Age plugin for Fantasy Grounds, and that game is going to happen sometime this year. It's definitely a time-consuming process putting all this stuff in Fantasy Grounds, but it is coming along pretty good. And in all actuality, I'm almost done with the Players plugin. And the Players plugin consists of all the rules, and this includes rules from every single 13th Age supplement, from Core Book to 13 True Ways to the annual subscription they have, any other supplements that they have. I have everything 13th Age. So if there's any rules, it's all in there. All of the classes, all of the races, even the optional races. So that's going to be something I think the players will probably like. And I'm trying to make everything to where it's drag and drop available. So that's nice. Also, I'm going to be working on what's going to take all the time is the Dungeon Master part of it. Because I'm literally going to be creating monster sheets for every single monster in 13th Age, Bestiary, all of the adventures they have, the Core Book, the 13th Age True Ways book. That's going to be it's going to be more time consuming than what it is definitely going to take to make the Players. And then I'm going to be doing all kinds of other, let's see, magic items and their chakras that they have. I'll be doing a massive amount of tables that the players will be able to roll on to see what they get. So it's going to be a really nice thing. I'm going to pre-create a ton of traps, a ton of magic items, and all the monsters. And that's what the DM stuff is basically being compromised of. And once I have all that done, it's all, once I do it, it's one time and then it's done. I don't have to do it again. So it's really nice. And like I said, 13th Age is one of my favorite rule sets, along with Fantasy Age. I love those two rule sets. Fantasy Age, Dragon Age, 13th Age. So expect to see more of that this year, in the future for sure. Now, I've also been looking at that Star Wars, the Age of Rebellion, Edge of Empire, and Force of Destiny plugin for Fantasy Grounds, and it's really nice. And I've been pretty vocal that I don't like the dice in that game. I think the game would have been much more successful and would have hit a bigger audience if they would have done like a D20 system. But with the Fantasy Grounds plugin, you can actually create your pools, and it tells you how many successes and failures and all that other stuff that you have. So I could possibly be doing a Fantasy Grounds Star Wars Edge of Empire game maybe this year too, if myself and the players can learn the dice a little bit better. I think that might be a go. So this Friday is the pretty much it's my special game that has the content creators from around the gaming industry, and it is a basically it is, you know, some pretty big names in the industry, and it has Chris Pramus from Green Row 9 Publishing. It has Jonathan Nelson from AdventureWeek.com. It has Wolfgang Bauer from Kobold Press. It has the Jen Page, and also it has Rachel Ventura from Legendary Games. So this is there's some pretty, they're all big names, guys. And you know, that game is going to be this Friday. It's a once a month game that we're going to be doing, and it's going to start at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that's 6:30 p.m. start time for all of you West Coasters out there. We had one session already, so this will be our second session, and I'm really looking forward to that game. So what's going to be going on this week, guys? Super good week coming up. I hate to say it like that, but I'm really looking forward to this week. Monday through Thursday, I've pretty much been doing video games again. Diablo 3, been doing some Football Manager. So it's really been a nice laxed week. There are some more Fantasy Grounds tutorials coming out today, tomorrow, and also Friday. Now, as for the games this week, on Friday, like I said, I've already mentioned, we've got the D&D 5e, basically the Fantasy Grounds celebrity game. These are all pretty much the vendors that put stuff on Fantasy Grounds on their store, and you know that's going to be at 9:30 p.m. We'll play till about I believe we'll be playing till about 12, probably about 12:30, 1 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we won't keep you guys up too late. Now Saturday is going to be the Dungeons and Dragons 5th Edition Rise of Tiamat. We'll be starting that game at 4 p.m. Eastern. It has an earlier start time, and that game is going really awesome as well. There's been a lot of flux in the party. There's been an incident with a deck of many things, and last week we had an incident with a zone of truth where several of our party members were caught in the middle of this, and then the interrogation with the NPC that they actually captured, one of the Cult of the Dragon members, actually shifted from that cultist to our other party members. So things got a little rigid last Saturday. So we'll be continuing this Saturday at 4 p.m. on Saturday, and they'll be still rocking on in that zone of truth. All right, now for Sunday, we've got our Princes of Apocalypse revamp coming back. Now, we ended this game about 2 to 3 months ago. One of our party members passed away. A couple other had to bow out. So we'll be getting Princes of Apocalypse back and up running this Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have 6 players. We have several players coming back, and we have several players. Roll20, remember Roll20 from about a year ago? He'll be joining us on Sunday as well. So it'll be nice to have Roll20 back. Lord Acid's going to be in the group. Miss Scarlet's going to be in the group. Worm, Vey, and also Misty. So we'll have a large party for this game, 6 people. That's usually a couple people more than what I normally run. So, but I think it will be a great game, and I know you guys are going to love the way that the game starts. So, anyways, guys, I've rambled on for enough. I've rambled on for 14 minutes. That's actually longer than what I wanted to ramble on for. So, guys, gals, if you're looking to play in that Alt-Space VR virtual reality game, please feel free to leave a comment down below or contact me on my contact button. If you have any other comments, please leave them in the comment section. Like me, follow me, subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow me on Twitter and Facebook. Guys, thanks so much. Thanks so much for all the retweets. I appreciate it. You can hear them going off. So, anyways, have a good one until next week. See you later.